Happy Wednesday and welcome into FanDuel TV. It's the Open Championship coming up tonight from Royal Troon, the fourth and final major of the year. Can Scotty get it done on Links Golf?
The NFL season is almost here. We're talking Giants. Can they go over or under their win total? And Daniel Jones will have to step up.
Let's keep it in New York. The Knicks go bing bong. They get their man loaded with a team-friendly deal. But what could it mean for Julius Randle and co? What a Wednesday we have shaping up for you guys. Meghan Payton, Dubs Anderson coming to you live from our Los Angeles studios. The next couple of hours, we are jumping in. Live wagering. Yes, we are playing the ponies, the sport of horse racing, whilst also taking a look at all the big games and best bets.
We're looking at the market movements in the NBA with the Jalen Brunson extension, potential drama going on with Julius Randle. Let's stick with the MLB. We had the All-Star game last night. The American League gets the win 5-3. Hey, you cashed the win margin there. The unders didn't hit. And now finally the American League says, you got the win last year, National League. It's back to us. The streak starts today. What was the biggest takeaway from you for that All-Star game?
Look, I think there were a couple. Ohtani getting that dinger, that was fantastic. We got to see Skeen squaring off against Aaron Judge, all trying to rise there. And for the American League, getting back to those dominant ways. What is that now? 10 of the last 11. But hats off to MLB. All-Star Week, the home run derby there on Monday night, that was fantastic. Last night, Durant takes out MVP honors with that two-run home run. Durant absolutely standing up like a superstar.
He's leading the league in doubles. He's leading the league in triples. Jaren Durant, he's having a fantastic season and finally making his imprint for the Red Sox. We saw that in the All-Star game last night. It was a fun one to watch. Besides Shohei Ohtani's three-run homer, it was all about the American League here, and they found ways to get the runs. You got to shout out Durant, though. He was definitely the key here.
Absolutely, and as we move into the back half of the season, I think that tells us the way the board should be squaring up there over at FanDuel Sportsbook. The American League have the edge in terms of what we've seen from the NL. Yes, the Phillies have been flying. The Dodgers, a bit of a miss, but the Orioles, the Guardians, I think that's where we're looking. And the Yankees for a bit of a bounce back. So we're getting set to start the business end of the MLB season, charging towards October. The full slate will be back in the mix there on Friday, but I think it's been an absolutely fantastic couple of days. Welcome during the dog days of summer.
We have to admit, the MLB, they do it right with the All-Star.
They do.
You got the Home Run Derby, which is probably the best exposition event we have in sports, followed up by the All-Star Game, where the players are actually trying. You know, I guess an honorable mention to the NBA. They at one point did it right with the dunk contest, but it's all MLB when we're talking All-Star.
Don't even bring up the dunk contest.
Probel.
Shout out to my guy, Zach Levine. An American League team is the one to beat, charging awards the playoff push there. What do we have on tap this hour? No shortage of live racing, live wagering to be had right here on FanDuel TV. The opener from Yarmouth just minutes away. We'll get out to Killarney, back across the pond for their second, and then racing stateside. Delaware Park, Belterra Park, Parks and Thistledown. Welcome into the party on a fantastic looking hump day.
It's a loaded hour in the sport of horse racing. For you new customers wanting to jump across and say, maybe I'll give horse racing a chance, there are so many plus money options here. You can do a no sweat first bet up to $500 for you new customers. You just have to scan the QR code, download the FanDuel Racing app today.
FanDuel TV's coverage of European racing is brought to you by Arcana, your gateway to European bloodstock.
International racing getting underway from Yarmouth. Just 4 minutes to post time. Apprentice Handicap Class 4 event for the 3-year-olds and up, going the distance of 7 furlongs on a turf course listed as good. The 746 loomed to be the big threats. It's a sunny afternoon across the pond with the 7 now sitting at 9-5. Taking a look at the chances of the 7 here. The recent form, Arcalia Flynn, a winner last out, a runner-up prior to that, so amidst a really good stretch here in the cycle. The blinkers come on for Jack Shannon and the team, so the 7, starting from post position 6, certainly comes in with red-hot form and expected to be the one to beat at 9-5.
Getting a good look at the 7 right now. A threat in the market. How about the 4 sitting at 3-1? Daring Legend will be going off from post position 2. did get the win in the last out back in June. A little bit of a boom or bust type of horse. We've seen finishing very far back, but then we've seen 2 wins this year. Is that enough to pose a threat to the favorite?
I think there could be a bit of a bounce looming here for the 4. That was first up after a bit of a layoff over there at Newbury on the 25th. And you look at the win prior to that, there was a bounce after that one. So for Daring Legend, the 4, a couple of question marks, but you're still getting 3-1 amongst this 8-horse field. As you can see on screen there, free pass performances for international racing now available at the FanDuel Racing website. So you can jump in, do your own form, come up with your own selections and maybe find a couple of vulnerable favourites. It really looks like a fantastic afternoon over there at Yarmouth. The 6 now sits at 7-2, the equivalent of plus 350. One more, no more. The 4-year-old gelding coming in for Philip McBride. Last couple of starts has been going in the wrong direction. Will drop in class here today. So let's see if this is a better spot for the 6. Now sitting at 7-2. The biggest price, second biggest price on the board is the 3 at 27-1. Spirited Guess will start from post position 7. Comes in for George Margerson in the team. Last couple of efforts really hasn't shown up. It has shown a bit of a top gear. If you look towards back there midway through 2023 at Chelmsford City, put up a monster performance. That performance would be enough to stack up against all of the top runners in this one today. So the 3 at 27-1, if we can just find that top gear, but this will be the first start returning after a lengthy layoff. So the fitness would be the concern there. The 2 sits at 8-1. That is Dutch Kingdom, the 4-year-old gelding who's had the 1 win for the season, gets to take advantage of a bit of weight off in the irons. That win was over at Lingfield, going the distance of a mile on the all-weather course. It gets the cut back in distance. It makes the surface switch here today. This will be a step up in terms of the level of competition. So Dutch Kingdom, the 2, is going to have to run an even bigger race there. You can see moving into line. We'll start from post position 8, saying, no, I'm good. Your rider trying to whirl that way into the starting gate. But this 4-year-old saying, no, I'm going to enjoy the surroundings. It's a nice sunny afternoon. I'm not in too much of a hurry. When we need to start, we'll start. There you go. The assistants move this runner into line. The 1 sits at 9-1. That is Chola Empire, the 5-year-old gelding in the money, finished last out at this level on the turf course. It gets back to the 7 furlongs. I think the 1 could be the sneaky price play here. Chola Empire starting from that 4 spot. We just await the final runners to move in a position before we get set for a start from Great Yarmouth. There goes the 4, and we'll send it out on course.
Good evening, Jason. Yes, good evening, everybody. Last couple going in. It's actually glorious weather here today. So the last couple make their way into the stalls. So in goes Arcalia Flynn into stall number 6. George Bass riding for Jack Shannon, for John and Zoe Webster. Arcalia Flynn is in. Ready. And they're off for ladies' evening here at Yarmouth. It's the Freedom Apprentice Handicap over the straight 7 furlongs. Good start by Daring Legend, the black and orange, although quite keen to the right as we look. To the left, and the red noseband is Dutch Kingdom, the Lingfield winner last time, followed by Chola Empire in the green and brown colours, alongside the white and blue, also taking quite a keen hold, Spirited Guest. They're followed through by Rocky Mountain Way. Arcalia Flynn in the white and black, red and white striped sleeves, also under a grip, is towards the near side. Held up towards the back, One More No More in the red and black colours, alongside another keen going runner cracking the grey towards this near side. So they head down the centre of the course and they head past the 4 furlong marker. Leading is Dutch Kingdom from Daring Legend in second place, followed through by Chola Empire and also Spirited Guest. In behind that is Arcalia Flynn and George Bass. Towards the far side, the Foss Lass winner Rocky Mountain Way and Mikkel Mortensen, followed by One More No More and Sean Dillon Bowen. Ridden along is Cracking and Luke Catton at the back of the field. Inside the final 2 furlongs, still there Daring Legend alongside the ridden along Dutch Kingdom. Chola Empire under pressure, shaken up. Arcalia Flynn tries to gain towards the near side. Rocky Mountain Way is down the far side and One More No More, but it's Daring Legend who leads inside the final furlong. Rocky Mountain Way chasing Arcalia Flynn down the near side, but it's Daring Legend who still has the advantage, and if anything is pulling further away. So it's Daring Legend who stays on strongly for victory from in second place Rocky Mountain Way. Then in third place was Arcalia Flynn and One More No More.
Daring Legend gets it done in the opener from Great Yarmouth. Daring legend, the 4 there makes it win number 3 in the 11th career start. We'll wait until those prices go official.
With that, we'll sneak in a quick commercial timeout. On the other side, we're talking updated odds on the National League. Can the Braves turn it around? They are sitting at plus 450. Is that enough to get it done? Stay with us for more to come on FanDuel TV. Welcome back into FanDuel TV. Allie McCann joining us in studio to talk a little MLB. We're officially at that midway point. It's the All-Star break. We saw the National League versus the American League last night. The American League did what they do, and they won. They finally got back in the winning column. It's all about the American League. I figured since we're at this midway point, Allie, let's take a look back at the preseason picks you had. Let us know, are we rolling with those? Are we fading it? Starting with the National League, you had the Braves. Can we buy in on the Braves at plus 450?
Oh man, I not only had the Braves winning the NL East, I had them winning the National League as a whole, and I also had them winning the World Series. But unfortunately, things aren't looking great. Things took a turn. Things happen that you obviously can't predict. Ronald Acuna went down. Spencer Strider went down. But all in all, their offense is not producing. The pitching has held up a little bit, but you need both of those things in order to make a run in the postseason, and I'm not too hopeful right now.
You know what I like about you, Allie? You don't double down. Whenever you find out, all right, the Braves aren't doing it, you are fading, you are finding a new way. So who's your updated pick to win it all in the National League?
All right, so this might come as a surprise to you. I knew this team was going to be a thorn in the Braves' side, but I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Phillies. Look, this team is special, and it is very painful for me to admit that, but they are top 2 in not only batting average, but ERA and OPS as well. And that recent sweep of the Dodgers is what kind of sold me on this pick. We got to factor in that playoff experience, and when you do that, those preseason doubters like myself are going to be silenced.
Look at the Phillies, plus 210 to win the National League. The top-end talent is really what you're buying in on with Harper, with Wheeler, and then you look at how Sanchez has stepped up. He could be an ace of his own if Wheeler wasn't in the mix. The Phillies at plus 210 to win the National League. How about the American League? Okay, you had the Orioles preseason, Allie.
I did.
I'm feeling good about your preseason pick. Are you still feeling good about it?
I'm feeling great about my preseason pick. I had the Orioles at plus 610. I believe they are now at 310, so we're going to continue to ride with that. I mean, look, Corbin Burns has delivered as the big offseason move. Gunnar Henderson has elevated himself to MVP level. They have the best catcher in baseball, and I think with a few right moves before the deadline, more specifically with that pitching, they are going to not only win the American League, but I think they're winning the World Series too.
I love this bet a lot. I mean, I love Gunnar Henderson. He's a top 3 hitter in baseball. Corbin Burns, he's having a great season as well. I mean, he just started as the pitcher for the American League in the All-Star game. Yeah. Getting the Orioles at plus 310 feels like a steal, which leads me to ask you this question. Why are the Yankees still the shortest price in the American League?
I have no idea. I mean, every year this happens. The Yankees get so much hype. There's always an excuse as to why they're going to be better and make a run like they couldn't the year before. But it's not happening this year. The Yankees have fallen before the All-Star break. Their starters have the worst ERA over the last 30 days. They've won 2 of their last 9 series. I mean, they're no longer at the top of the AL East. It's over for the Yankees. Get over it, people.
I'm with you, Allie. We fade the Yankees. We're fading your Atlanta Braves. We are rolling with the Orioles. We're rolling with the Phillies. And that's the updated look ahead as we move into the later portion of the MLB season. How fun was the All-Star game, though, yesterday? It really shows the American League.
I know.
They're at the top.
Listen, I had the American League winning. I just want to put that out
there. You did. Allie's been seeing them right. She comes in studio. She gives out dimes all day, every day. Those are the updated looks for MLB coming up for the second half of the season. Allie McCann's going to be back to talk a little PGA. For you new customers wanting to join in, bet across on FanDuel Sportsbook. We've got some awesome promos coming your way. A boost or bonus every day, all summer long. Bet $5, get $200 back in bonus bets if you win. Plenty of ways to jump in, and guess what? We've got live horse racing right now, right here.
Thanks, Megan. We are getting set for the second from Kalani. 4 minutes to post time for the 2-year-olds going the distance of a mile on a turf course listed as good. Green Triangle, the 1, listed as the top choice. Currently sitting at 7-5. Gets a bit of a weight break for trainer Joseph O'Brien. Was a winner last out. Trying to go back-to-back from that score over at Ross Commons. So from what we have seen for this 2-year-old, it has been very impressive and certainly looks to be a progressive type as they're getting set to head out on course for the afternoon. Second choice in the market as it stands currently is the 5 at 4-1. That is Lady O. Comes in for trainer Jessica Harrington in the team. A very impressive winner on debut back on the 13th of May. Took a bit of a layoff, and for that second start was competitive at that over at Tipperary on the 3rd of July, going the 7.5 furlongs. So should appreciate getting a little stretch out in distance, having a bit more fitness under the belt. Free pass performances, as you can see there, for international racing available at FanDuel Racing. So the past performances give us a good chance to do our own handicapping. We can see what all of these runners have been going through in their prior races, the barns, the trainers, the jockeys who will be in the irons for race number 2 here this afternoon. So a good way to jump in and learn the game and come up with your own winning wagers at the FanDuel Racing app. It remains the 1 at even money. And we highlighted, playing the big connections there. They're going to see a lot of attention in the market. Joseph O'Brien, certainly one of the young supremos in the trainer ranks there. Joseph O'Brien started as a jock, had a bit of success at the Breeders' Cup, and then took it to the training game. The O'Brien name, certainly one of the most famous in the sport of racing. The 2 sits at 9-1, Cap St. Martin. Another runner here for Joseph O'Brien. Makes the first start this afternoon, so we really haven't seen a bunch there. The morning works have looked pretty strong without being fantastic, so you'd have to keep an eye on that 2 at 9-1, starting from post position 3 when they're coming in for Joseph O'Brien.
Looking at a couple of the other options here, we're getting a good look at the favorite, who's sitting at 6-5. That is the 1. How about the 8, sitting right now at 3-1? Comes in as a second-time starter. The first out finished runner-up here. This 2-year-old filly went 7.5 furlongs in the first out. Now is going to be going at the mile. Is there enough that we've seen from that one and only start to say that the 8 could upset the favorite?
I tell you what, that was a big performance back on the 2nd of July, and that same race, that very race, was the race that Green Triangle, the 1, exits fresh off the win. So it was Green Triangle, the 1, besting the 8 Jador Chris in their last matchup. So can we turn the tables? Currently sitting at 7-2. That's not a bad number. Was right in the mix of that one until they hit the wire. So the 8, with a bit more fitness and a bit of a forward step, could absolutely be live for this spot.
So we have a 10-horse field for race number 2. plenty of ways to jump in. You highlighted the wagering menu, and one of my favorite bets is just simply the exacta. We're picking who's going to finish first and who's going to finish second. You can box it, you can add multiple selections, but to start the day, I just want an ice-cold exacta. First, second, where are we going?
Let's run it back, and we'll stick with the one up on top, the 1 over the 8. So it's a pretty chalky exacta, but it would be a nicer return than what we would get if we just played that one as a straight single. So the exacta, first and second across the finish line in that order. We'll stick with the 1 at 7 to 5 and the 8 underneath there. $1 investment, bringing back a probable of $12. So a lot of different ways to jump in and play the ponies. There's still some great action coming up this afternoon, but the beauty of the racing, every hour racing on top of racing, and that plus money, it hits the same as a dinger there last night in the Midsummer Classic. It hits the same as a player prop in the W that we'll jump into not too far away. Maybe a couple of golf bets. I'm hearing Ali McCann is getting set to dazzle there for the Open Championship, with tees off later this evening. Prices across from Yarmouth, Daring Legend. The 4 gets the score, $7.60 winner, $2.80 place. The 4 over the 5 over the 7 in the opener. So the international racing continues right here on FanDuel TV as we're getting set for the second from Kalani, showing 0 minutes to post time. We've made the case for the 1 there at even money. We like the 8 underneath, Jador Chris in the exacta. Other than that, a couple of big prices, and rightfully so, because we just don't have the data. A lot of first-time starters coming in for this one here this afternoon. The 2 has my attention at 12 to 1. Pure connections play here. The other runner for Joseph O'Brien coming out of that barn, certainly expected to have a lot of polish here on debut. There is the 6 at 12 to 1. We'll start from post position 10. That is Full Tilt, trained by John Murphy and the team, this 2-year-old colt. So the 2-year-olds essentially the rookies getting set. This is their first season of racing, so not a lot of experience, but let's see who finishes up on top. And with that, they're almost set.
White flag raised, Lady O. Drawn 1 last. Set. And that off. Last one out was Eagle's Dream. And this mile EBF Median Star Series race, 10 runners. Vying for the lead, Jador Chris heads them off from Green Triangle, Lady O. Then Run Maggie Run and Yamar. 3 lengths then to Senor Monte Cristo and Caps and Martin. Pushed along. At the back is Lamburn, and then Full Tilt and Eagle's Dream. Nicely spaced out, as the leader is Jador Chris by a couple of lengths to Green Triangle. Another couple of lengths to in third place was Lady O. Just fourth is Yamar from Run Maggie Run. And then Senor Monte Cristo. On the inside is Caps and Martin. With the back 3, Lamburn, who's still intermittently ridden along. Full Tilt and Eagle's Dream. Reaching the halfway stage, the EBF Median Star Series race over a mile, and Green Triangle has gone up on the inner of Jador Chris to just make the bend in front. Then Lady O. Run Maggie Run on the inside of Yamar with a couple of lengths then to Senor Monte Cristo and Caps and Martin, followed towards the final 3 by Lamburn. Not much between Green Triangle and Jador Chris as they come towards the turn. Lady O next with Yamar trying to stay on. Out on the left is Lamburn, who's followed by Caps and Martin. Inside the final 2 furlongs, and it's Green Triangle now with the definite advantage. Opens up from Jador Chris, Lady O, Caps and Martin, runs on against the rail, and then Lamburn and Yamar next, but gone clear is Green Triangle and Wayne Hassett extending their lead all the while as Green Triangle has gone through the rail. What drama! And Lamburn has been presented it on a play from Jador Chris. Caps and Martin on the outside was Lady O. An astonishing finish. Looking across the track, Wayne Hassett.
We've had an incident there at the wire, so hold all tickets. Once we get a little further information, we'll share that with you guys, but sending best wishes out there on course. First glance, it looked like all runners avoided disaster. But with that, we're going to sneak in a quick commercial timeout. On the other side, we're going to turn it to the links. A bit of golf talk coming up. The 4th and final major of the year getting underway later tonight from Royal Troon. Links golf as good as it gets. Stick with us. You're watching FanDuel TV. Welcome back into FanDuel TV. We are getting set for the opener from Delaware Park. Conditions, non-winners of 3, lifetime claiming event on the distance of a mile for the 3-year-olds and up. It's a field of 6 runners. They've already started their post parade. We saw the 1, My Jojo, going through at 8-1. Here's the 2, Stylish Anna. Bit of an early speed type, gets a favourable draw to match.
Coming up next will be the 3. That's Killigrew's Girl. Should be coming off the pace, has the 2 wins and 31 lifetime starts. The speed figures will definitely have to improve, sitting at 8-1 for a reason.
Nice little price there. Lovely Liza, the 4, currently sitting at 2-1. Alexander Crispin gets the mount here this afternoon. Does have the speed figs to fall back on. Next up will be the 5, Water Witch. Morning works have been very sharp, so the training has been very impressive leading back into race day. It was just bested by Neck last out.
Here's the 6, No More Diamonds, sitting at 9-1. Has a bit of early speed, fell far back in the last out, but was a runner-up 2 back.
That is your field for the opener from Delaware Park. In terms of the wagering menu, a couple of different ways to jump in and play along, including the 50-cent early pick 5. The 4, 5, and 2 look to be the big threats, MP.
I'm looking here, and I see the 4 is the favorite at 9-5. I see you're against the favorite. Is it play of the hour time? Where have we landed?
That is what we do. Where's the air horn? I'm looking for it. There it is. I found it. The 2, Stylish Anna. These are the green light endorsements. Drops to an easier level here today. So I think the class relief could be a big improvement. Winner at the course and distance are very well suited to go on at the rowdy ground, go on the distance of a mile back here at Delaware Park. And we get a hot jock in Jamie Rodriguez sitting at a 29% win clip for the meet. Anything north of, I'd say, 14%, 15% is a really good strike rate for your jockey. In terms of the last 7 days, 7 wins from 24 mounts. I think this is an absolute live one here today to kick us off in the right direction. So it's Delaware Park, race number 1 coming up. My play of the hour will be the 2, Stylish Anna. And this board tells us everything. It's going to be a very competitive race. I think every entry is absolutely live. The 3 sitting at 10-1, the 6, both there at 10-1. They would likely need a bit of early speed to open up things late. But the pace scenario, it's a little murky because a couple of these runners just trying a different distance of what they have been at for the 2024 season. So with a couple of unknowns, a couple of different directions to go.
You can find, what you like out of this competitive race. And I think the 2, Stylish Anna, makes a lot of sense. You mentioned the connections here. Jamie Rodriguez sitting at a 29% clip rate here. Was a winner back in June. That early speed's definitely going to be important. And plus 200 sportsbook odds. And so in a competitive field like this, where essentially the favorite is now between 3 horses at 2-1, you're still getting a decent number.
Yeah, absolutely. Has the 2 wins from 10 starts for the season. Gets the blinkers off here today. So a little equipment change, I think, will absolutely benefit from it. You can see the silks there for your jockey in the blue and white. The silks for your jockey, essentially like your favorite jersey for a football team, basketball team. They're the colors that we want to be cheering on as they turn for home. And those silks will be for the ownership group. So a lot of these jockeys, they may have 5, 6 mounts as they move through the afternoon here at Delaware Park, but they will be wearing different silks each time unless it falls for the same owner as a previous runner. But always very flashy, very bright, things you love to see early here on a Wednesday. Getting a good look at the 6, also sitting as a double-digit long shot. That is No More Diamonds. Has a bit of early speed, and I think this is where the pressure could be coming from towards the 2. No More Diamonds. We'll look to cut across early in this one and just try and rate up in front. Let's see if we can save a bit of energy because it didn't work in favour last out. Getting back to the same distance here today and gets the outside draw. That last effort started from post position 1, but just didn't get a good trip. So let's see if we can figure one out for this.
The 6, No More Diamonds, sitting at a big price of 10-1. Next door, though, is the favorite, the 5, Water Witch. Should be coming off the pace. A lot to like about this horse. Finished as a runner-up in the last out. That runner-up performance did come here in the first start at Delaware Park. So the 24 races has only raced here once, and that was their best performance of the year, the only runner-up performance of the year.
In terms of the sample size, a lot to like from the connections here. Julio Hernandez gets the ride. He's sitting at a 19% clip. Clocks a bullet workout in the lead-up, coming back for this spot here today. And taking a look at that last race, was in the lead, dueled, was game late, and clocked a very impressive speed figure. If you look at the speed figures out of the last races, it was the 5, who holds the highest number. So we can go back-to-back. Waterwitch, the 5, certainly looks to be a big threat here. This board tells us it's now all about the 3 runners, the 2, 4, and 5 taking a bulk of the money, and then we've got the 3 double-digit long shots. Let's take a look at the inside runner, the 1. My Jojo really hasn't shown a bunch in the last couple of starts. Will be 3rd off the layoff here this afternoon. So in terms of the fitness, primed up on that side of things, but really hasn't shown us much for 2024. 4 starts yet to finish in the money, and at this level of competition, it's where we've been the last 2 starts. So it would have to change something up to impress at 11.
Looking at the 3 Kilogrews girl, sitting at a big price again, 14-1. This is the biggest price on the board. I mean, I'd be hard to make a case for this one. Only has the 2 wins and 31 career starts. Pretty middle of the pack finishes in most of the outs. The 1 win this year comes back in January, so we haven't finished in the money in quite some time. Is there any room for improvement or hope for improvement here?
Nothing has gone right since that last win. They've been mixing it at a tougher level of competition. They dropped to this level back there on the 3rd of July to go the route, and it just didn't work in favour. So something has to turn around here for the 3 Kilogrews girl, sitting at 14-1. No surprises as the biggest price on the board. And with that, we just await the outside runner. So we'll send it out on course. It's the opener, race number 1 from Delaware Park.
Move in. This field is set. Away and running. Blazing speed from Stylish Anna today. Waterwitch came away in second, and No More Diamonds is wide at the 7.5 furlong marker. Lovely Liza sits the trip today. Up the inside is Kilogrews Girl. And last of all is My Jojo. Up and around the first turn they go. Stylish Anna now throttles that speed to lead by 1. And Waterwitch is right there. And these 2 are very popular in the wagering pools and show the way as they got 6 furlongs left to go. Lovely Liza pulls hard against the Riders Reign in 3rd, and No More Diamonds goes wide for the back of the track run. My Jojo's in front of 1, and in a race with no pace, Kilogrews Girls at the back of the pack. Down to the 5 furlong pole they pass, and Stylish Anna continues to have things all her own way today. 3-1 when the wagering window closed and showed the way by half a length, but Waterwitch hounds her every step of the way in second, and No More Diamonds caught wide on both turns. Lovely Liza has no excuses today. My Jojo's trying to get on track, and still last of all is Kilogrews Girl. They go around the 2nd turn. Stylish Anna still leads. Waterwitch continues to shadow her every move. Lovely Liza sizes up the both of them. No More Diamonds calls it a day. My Jojo headstrong, not liking the kickback, and Kilogrews Girl's been last throughout. They're homeward bound now, and Waterwitch the Gray takes the fight to Stylish Anna in the concluding stages. That is 3/16 of a mile, and Waterwitch kicks for the money and shows the way by a neck. Stylish Anna grudgingly giving way. My Jojo at 16-1 tries to move into second and will, but not catching the winner, Waterwitch. And Waterwitch, the first of the day and the first favorite home to beat My Jojo, Stylish Anna, and Kilogrews Girl.
The 5, Waterwitch, gets the win, makes that 3 wins and 25 career starts. Wait till those prices go official. Allie, you're back in studio. Time to talk a little Open Championship.
I am back, Megan, and what an emotional week for us golf fans. The final
Sad
major
face.
of the season. We had to Royal Troon for the Open, and this is a true example of what real links golf is. I mean, we are going to see uneven lies, unpredictable rollouts, pop bunkers, which are my absolute worst nightmare. But all in all, this is going to require creativity. It's going to be a true test of your all-around game. You're going to need that control and that accuracy if you want to come out on top here.
Hello, who's going to lift that claret jug on Sunday afternoon? Ali, I've been waiting all week to get in the mix here. And surprise, surprise, Patty Ice, Patrick Cantlay in the outright market this week, currently sitting at 45-1. Now, I know the knock against Patty Ice. He's never shown up at the majors, but this is the week, and he sits there as quite the sleeper. He's an 8-time winner on the PGA Tour. We know the class is there. He's had the 4 top 10s for the season, so the form is trending in the right direction. A top 5 at the US Open, a top 5 at the Travelers Championship, 31st in strokes gained total, and he's 39th in scrambling around the greens. You highlighted this is links golf. You're going to have to get up and down out of the ball wash to make those tough and gritty pars. Patrick Cantlay at a price of 40 to 1, Ali. That's my number one outright.
All right, well, I'm going to one-up you here because I'm going with Colin Morikawa. Listen, he has had quite an impressive season. He's got 4 top 5 finishes in his last 7 starts. He's one of the most accurate drivers on tour. He's top 5 on approach, and we saw a tied for 4th finish last week from him at the Scottish Open, and I think that's just going to be a little taste of what we are going to see from him this week.
He's already had a lot of success at the Open Championship. The California kid, Lumen, at a bit of a price there at 14 to 1. So you try to one-up me. I'm going to go one further here with a little finishing position play. Let's go into the top 20 market. Yep. What about Jordan Spieth? I mean, it is creativity, it is golf IQ, it is shot making, all the things you need at links golf at Royal Troon, and he is sneaking under at a big price. He's plus 220 to finish inside the top 20. I think he's live in the outright market. He was 80 to 1 2 days ago. He now drops to 65 to 1. And for Jordan Spieth, 3 top 10s for the year. Do not sleep on this guy. You're not going to get this number. 6th in total driving as well.
Well, I know you're going to like this one, but I am going with Robert McIntyre as a top 20 finish. He is fresh off of that win last week. This guy knows links golf. He's got 6 top 20 finishes in his last 10 starts, which, what more could you ask for? He's a native. He's got success with the links. That's everything you need to compete in a week like this.
But the only question mark towards big bad Bobby Mack after that Scottish Open on Sunday and Royal Troon, yes, we're back in Scotland this week, is how's the hangover, my guy? We know the golf game is in fantastic shape, so we like Bobby Mack. There's a bit of a value play. Colin Morikawa, Patty Ice, and Jordan Spieth. I hear, and we may have a couple of hot takes for Hump Day later in the show. The Open Championship teeing off later this afternoon, a little closer. I should say later tonight, is the opener from Belterra Park. If you're playing along, best of luck. We'll send it out on course.
And they're off. Breaking sharply for the lead is Good Looking on the outside. Speed Collector down against the rail. On the outside, picking it up is Kid Matty Mad in between runners. Just one more. Georgie rounds out the top 4. Shadowed on the outside by Mariposa de Pista. About a dozen back, we got True Companion and trailing the field. That is Heavenly Charm as they make their way into the far turn. And with the lead on the outside, that is Kid Matty Mad. And Kid Matty Mad is three parts of a length to the good. Now laying in second on the inside is Good Looking, about 6 lengths back. Speed Collector's trying to pick it up, moving to the outside. Mariposa de Pista, opening quarter of 23 as they spin for home. With a lead, Kid Matty Mad Lagunas has a lead on top by 2, goes to the left-handed stick for good measure. It's Kid Matty Mad coming off that bullet work and looks good as gold from there. Kid Matty Mad is on top and he's the one to beat. He is the target. 16th Polar Rise, and Kid Matty Mad on Easy Street with an impressive maiden win. Running second, Good Looking. Running third, Speed Collector.
6-7-2. The 6 gets the win, breaks the maiden in the second career start.
Well, when do those prices go official? With that, we get back out to Parks ahead of race number 1. A minute to post time. The 6 is your favourite, currently sitting here at 2 to 1. They're going the distance of the 6 furlongs, and it's a maiden claiming event. As you can see, we've built a little ticket, the Dubsy Double, aka the Daily Double, starting right here in race number 1. It's a 2-leg parlay, essentially. We're trying to come up with the winner in race number 1 into the winner of the second. We've got 2 selections in the first, and we've got the single in the second there. So play along the Dubsy Double, a $2 double. And let's start with the top endorsement. As you can see, Megan, we've gone against your current post-time favourite here, the 6. We've got the 4 as the top endorsement. The girls, no joke. A first-time starter for Scott Lake. We've shown a bit of early speed and talent going through the morning works. I like the fact that Abner Adorno takes the start here today. We've got the 2 currently sitting there at a bit of a price at 6 to 1. Should have been a cowgirl, has the experience over the field and gets the difference maker in Paco Lopez aboard for the ride. So a little 4-2 against the 6 here in the opener, and then we're singled in the second towards the 2 obstinate. So let's see if we can get the Dubsy Double home in the opener.
I like that a lot. And for you new bettors wondering what the Daily Double is, you're betting on race 1 and race 2. You've got 2 endorsements in this one, a single in the next. That's what's fun, is you can build it how you like. Tail dubs, though, as we get ready for race number 1 at Parks. They are almost all loaded into the gate, just waiting on a couple of the outside runners.
You Didn't Pay, she's next.
Final opportunity to jump in and play the opener here at Parks. We're just awaiting the 7. Stay Opportunistic to move into that starting gate. Has the 2 starts prior. Took a bit of a forward step last out. There goes the 8, Chance Occurrence. Has the experience. 12 starts, still searching for that very first win. And there goes the 9. Go, Chloe, go. And we should be set for a start. There we go. Moves into line. So let's send it out on course. It's Jessica Parquette with the call of race number 1 from Parks.
Off and racing, bit of an awkward beginning for You Didn't Pay on the outside. Chance Occurrence has some speed right out of the gate. In between horses, Should Have Been a Cowgirl. Moonlit Magic, Want to Say Early. Then Stay Opportunistic in the green blinkers, settling into 4th. In 5th, Debut Runner, The Girl's No Joke. First time starter, Bonds Bell, she's 6th. Then in on the rail, You Didn't Pay, and at the back, Go, Chloe, go. And it's the gray, Chance Occurrence, who's wrestled the lead away. She's opening up a bit now in 2nd. Moonlit Magic, followed by Should Have Been a Cowgirl on the outside. The Girl's No Joke. Bonds Bell, she's moving up and in between horses. Stay Opportunistic. Then it's back to You Didn't Pay and Go, Chloe, go. 22 and 3 for the opening quarter. They make their way around the far turn, and Chance Occurrence has a clear-cut lead. Should Have Been a Cowgirl now chasing in 2nd, trying to gain on the front running. Chance Occurrence on the outside. Bonds Bell, first time starter. She's up to 3rd. In between horses, Stay Opportunistic. Moonlit Magic dropping back. 46 and 4 for the half. The top of the stretch. Chance Occurrence at a big price. She has the lead. Should Have Been a Cowgirl chasing in 2nd. Bonds Bell under an all-out drive and trying to gain, but it is Chance Occurrence and Gabrielle Ramos on the outside. Should Have Been a Cowgirl trying to take another swing at her with a 16th left to go. Chance Occurrence looking for the wire. Should Have Been a Cowgirl with a final try. These two down to the wire. Photo for the win. Should Have Been a Cowgirl. Chance Occurrence, then it's back to Bonds Bell in 3rd.
286, the 2, Should Have Been a Cowgirl, gets the win, breaks the maiden in the 11th career start, and we're still alive.
We're still alive. The difference maker, Paco Lopez. This runner saw a lot of attention there at post time. Should have been a cowgirl. The 2 was at 12 to 1. It goes off at 5 to 2 and needed every bit of that course. You could see the 8 just getting a little tired, drifts out wide. I don't know if they came into contact, but it's not going to matter. The 2 gets across the finish line first.
Boy, to those prices go official on the other side. We're talking Del Mar. We are 3 days away from opening day. The sun is shining. The weather's fantastic in Southern California. And we'll have the team live on site all week as we get set for the opener. Stay with us.
Welcome back into FanDuel TV. Opening day fast approaching. Can you believe it? Only 3 days out from the summer meet down at the Seaside Oval where the turf meets the surf. The house that being built. Fantastic racing, even bigger wagering to be had. One of the best colonies squaring off here in the country. And we're going to catch up with a couple of the big names to give us a little more insight on how they prepare ahead of opening day at Del Mar. Let's take a look.
Are you ready to get beaten? Uh-huh. Let's try the Pacific Classic in the game first and then see what happens in the real life.
Give me a chance to find a good one. Got it. Ready?
And they're off. Oof. I'm gonna ride him like Zenyatta.
Get out. Yes. I miss as well.
There must be something wrong with the controller. They're gonna complain about this ride. I know.
Hey, Louis! Louis!
Come on!
Yes! I called the stewards. Give me the phone, give me the phone. Give me the phone. Go straight. I did it. Oh, yes!
No.
Come on, let's switch yours.
No, I wanna win with this.
He just restarted the game because he missed the break. Okay, so I'm waiting for you to come out of the gate, Antonio.
Oh, come on, again. In the Pacific Classic,
I don't
with
know.
a different story. I'm gonna get my revenge in the real life.
Umberto and Fraser squaring off on the course, and there with a bit of gaming. How did I leave that off my Top 5 Tuesday?
That's what I was going to say. Look at the competitive level these jockeys have when playing that game. But that's what's great about athletes is just like you'd watch like the top football players playing Madden, like they are getting intense. They love it. I'm sure the competitiveness transfers over to video games. But I'm with you. That should have been, that FIFA can get kicked out and we can throw that one into the mix.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. The jockeys truly are some of the toughest and strongest athletes across any sport that you can stack up against. The mentals, the physicals, and we're going to see some of the best jockeys here in Southern California down at Del Mar. Opening day coming up this Saturday. A couple of big prize purses on the line as well for the San Clemente Handicap and the Oceanside Stakes. Yes, I'll say it again, this Saturday with our very best live on site. The team will be led by Todd, Michael, Christina Blacker, Scott Hazelton, Andy B. and Cone coming out to the West Coast, and the voice himself, Larry Colmus. First post going off at 5 p.m. Eastern. So that's even better. What a great way to spend your afternoon, evening, having a wager playing Del Mar at the FanDuel Racing app. A little closer, we're getting set for racing from Thistledown. Race number 1, just a minute out from post time. Claiming event for the 3-year-olds and up, going 5.5 furlongs on a fast course. The 5, 1 and 6 looks to be the big headliners coming up here. The 5 currently sitting at 6 to 5. In terms of what we have seen the last couple of starts, pretty strong performances, but that really is the best thing about the game of racing. There are no days off, there are no shortages. We get set for Del Mar coming up on Saturday, but a little closer will be this one in Thistledown. A couple of different ways to jump in and have a wager. You can play the multis, kicking off here with race number 1. We will have the 50-cent pick 4 and the dollar pick 3. In terms of the favourite, let's start there. The 5 currently sitting at 6 to 5. That will be Reinvested Interest. Bit of an early speed type, this 7-year-old, but has seen a lot of money come through at the window for the 2024 campaign and has really struggled to get back into that winner's circle. It wasn't the case early in the career, but for this season, just struggling to get past that wire first. So let's see if today's the day where we find it again. That's the 5, Reinvested Interest, currently sitting at even money. The 6 sitting at 7 to 2 looks to be a big thread here. That is Matthews Patriot, the 5-year-old gelding trained by Valerie Shanifelt and the team. Was a winner 2-back, a bounce last out. Had to walk off the course there. So a couple of question marks on how the 6 is shaping up for this one here today. Enough for me to pass. The 7 sits as the biggest price at the window right now. The 7 at 23 to 1. That is Dash of Fire. Not so much the early speed of the field, but showed a nice closing kick in that effort back on the 25th of June, going the 6 furlongs. We do get back to the 5.5 furlongs here today, so early speed will be welcome. And I think that's why the bettors are starting to lean in here behind the 5, has the early speed of the field. And as that number shortens up in price, you can see there's better value elsewhere on the board. A couple of double digits. The 4 sits at 16-1. Old Ned has shown a bit of early speed, has been quite versatile, but has been on the sidelines for a good 7 months. So that would be the knock coming off that lengthy return from Robert Klein and the team. Your trainer behind the 4, Old Ned. They only sit at a 12% clip first up, so may need a start or two to find that fitness again. The 3, Stone Cold Cat, should be coming from off the pace. Sits there at 10-1. Nice closing kick to match here and gets Angel Diaz aboard for the ride, sitting at a 13% clip. Your jockey for the meet, but has had a really good run the last week. 3 winners with the 8 mounts, and this certainly looks to be a live one here today at 10-1. The 3 looks to be a bit of a price play for mine here ahead of the opener. The 2, Stars and Space, was 4-1 on the morning line and going in the opposite direction. Now sits at 8-1. And considering the recent form, 2 wins from the last 3 starts, stepping up in class here this afternoon, that's usually enough to scare the bettors off, but you can't go against the momentum that this 5-year-old brings in for James Jackson. So Stars and Space, the 2 makes a bit of sense at a bit of a number. The inside runner, Sammy and Shorty, the 1, was 5-2 on the morning line, now sitting at 3-1. Speed Figs, a lot to like, and has been very consistent. That's what you want to see as we look towards the speed figures, essentially like the player ratings that we look at with some of our footballers, the ERAs for your starting pitchers. We use the speed figures and trying to match up a lot of these runners exiting different races, and there's a lot of consistency behind the 1, Sammy and Shorty. We highlighted the multis, the $1 pick 3 and the 50-cent pick 4 starting in race number 1. This is a very competitive race about to get underway. So with that, let's send it out on course. It's the opener, race number 1 from Thistledown.
Dash of Fire, the last in line. And we will be ready for Wednesday. Locked up. And they're off. Awkward start for Stars in Space. Sammy and Shorty from the rail has speed, but reinvested interest counters early in those 2. Speed away from the field. Old Ned is away racing in 3rd. And then Stars in Space has recovered on the inside in 4th. Matthews Patriot is currently racing in 5th. Dash of Fire and Stone Cold Catter with that trailing trio. 3.5 to go. Sammy and Shorty slim lead over reinvested interest. Stars in Space and Old Ned together. They're the next pair on the track, sitting 4 off that top duo. Around the far turn, 5/16 to go. Reinvested interest in Sammy and Shorty in battle. Stars in Space about 6 lengths behind Sammy and Shorty and reinvested interest. Reinvested interest outside. Sammy and Shorty game inside their nose to nose. Then it's Stars in Space. Stone Cold Cow with the late rail run. Furlong to go, and Sammy and Shorty has the advantage. Reinvested interest right there. Final 16th to go. Sammy and Shorty slowly inching away from reinvested interest. Sammy and Shorty wins. Reinvested interest was 2nd. Stone Cold Cat finished 3rd. Dash of Fire ran 4th.
1-5-3 in the opener from Thistledown. Sammy and Shorty, the 1, delivers with a big performance there. We highlighted that consistency going in to the starting gate and backed up there this afternoon.
We're going to sneak in a quick commercial timeout. On the other side, time to talk a little NFL futures. We're highlighting the Giants today. Win total set at 6.5. Can the Giants go over this? Can Daniel Jones turn it around? Stay with us for more to come on FanDuel TV.
Welcome back into FanDuel TV. We are getting set for the second from Delaware Park. A minute to post time here. Catalina Cruisin leads him out on course. Non-winners of 2 lifetime go on the distance of 6 furlongs claiming event. Catalina Cruisin out on course. Didn't do so well last hour. It was a bit of a bounce. Let's see if we can turn it around today.
Here's the 2. Sun Streaming sitting at 3-1. 1 win and 12 lifetime starts. Really felt far back in the last couple outs, so have to turn it around here today.
Pam's Palace is the 3, currently sitting at 13-1. Was an in-the-money finish last out, but would have to show a lot more improvement back here today at the 6 furlongs.
Next up will be the 4, Miss Gloria Jean, who will be coming off the pace, sitting at 10-1. 1 win and 6 lifetime starts. A winner, 2 back, 4th in the last out. The speed figures did fall off a little bit in that last out, hoping to get back in the winner's circle today.
Dancing Beauty is the 5 at 5-2. Certainly live coming in for this one. Has the early speed off a win last out with a good chance of going back-to-back. And there's the 7, Nami. Impressive going through the morning works. Has had the 1 win for the season and gets a bit of weight off in the irons with Robles set to ride. That is your field for the second from Delaware Park. 0 minutes to post time, so final chance to jump in and play along at FanDuel Racing. With that, let's take a look at the odds coming up for the opener from Finger Lakes. 2 minutes to post time, claiming event for the fillies and mares, the 3-year-olds and up, going 5.5 furlongs. The 1, 2, and 3 look to be the key threats.
The 1, Special Pal, is the favorite, sitting at 9-5. Morning line was 2-1. Has a bit of early speed, 2 wins, 6 lifetime starts, got the win in the last out. But I'd say you look at the 6 outs, a little bit boom or bust. We've started out really well with a runner-up, then a win. Then we started falling off a little bit with a 7th place. We had a 12th place at one point. I do think that it's short price for a reason, but it is scary when you see some of those far back finishes.
Scary, scary. Grand Lady Indy, the 2, fresh off a win, goes through. We saw the 3, Georgie's Ladies. Here's the 5, Subtle Giant. Was 15-1 on the morning line, now sits at 18-1. Finished way out of it in that last race on the 1st of July, and you cannot knock the fitness either. So no excuses. And there is the 6, Sweet Sugar Baby. Likely coming from off the pace, sitting at 4-1. That's your field coming up from Finger Lakes. Their opener just a minute out from post time, and it remains the 1 as the 1 to beat. That is Special Power, currently sitting at even money. We've got another post parade coming up. We're getting out to Belterra Park ahead of their second for the afternoon. 5 minutes to post time. As you can see, the Railbirds getting set for their next wager.
That was Some Kind of Pretty that went out sitting at 19-1. Here's the 3, Market of Stock, sitting at 29-1. Should be having a bit of early speed, 3 wins and 32 career starts.
Quiet Dawn is the 4, currently sitting at 7-1. Showed some strong form prior to that last effort, so if you excuse that, there certainly is a bit of ability there with the 4. The 5, My Angelica, also looking to find things today. Gets a little step down in class, so let's see if we can get a bit more improvement out of the 5 based on that class relief. Believing is the 6, early speed type of the field. We're only going 6 furlongs, so early speed certainly going to be welcome there behind the 6. And Whiskey Sis, the 7, at 4-1 to round out your post parade. That's your field for the second from Belterra Park. Just 4 minutes to post time. And as you can see, we are moving quickly here on a Wednesday. We're getting back out to Delaware Park ahead of race number 2.
With that, we will send it out on course. It is race 2 from Delaware Park. They're going the 6 furlongs. Just a couple more to load into the gate. We'll send it out to the track announcer. Best of luck.
Dancing Beauty is second last. Last of the 6 is Nami. She's in. Backs away. All set. Nope. Goes back out. 3rd time's the charm. Ready. Away and running. Slow to go is Nami, but good speed from Dancing Beauty today. Nami recovered to be in second as they exit the chute, and Miss Gloria Jane, the long shot, is up the inside in 3rd with Catalina Cruisin. In between rivals is Sun Streaming, and Pam's Palace, the long shots last of all, so they pick up velocity, and Dancing Beauty has a fight on her hands from Nami today, and Nami to put those red blinkers in front with the first 2 furlongs behind them. There's acres of space back to Catalina Cruisin Cruisin', who rides that rail in front of Miss Gloria Jean. And the two teaming up at the back is Pam's Palace and Sun Streaming. Around the bend with 3 furlongs to go, Nami calls the shots and leads by half a length. Dancing Beauty's under a loose rein and trying to stick with Nami today. Now Catalina Cruisin' is coming alive in that third place position, but is 7 lengths down and is under the whip. Off the turn, they race for home. Nami dismissed at 4-5 has opened up by 2. Dancing Beauty is a stagnant second. Catalina Cruisin' riding that rail, and Miss Gloria Jean a long shot fourth. Inside the final 200 yards, Nami's in front by 4. Catalina Cruisin' is picked off second. The favorites are 1-2, and Nami from last to first to win. To be Catalina Cruisin', Dancing Beauty, and Miss Gloria Jean.
7-1-5 in the second from Delaware Park. Nami the 7 goes off at a short price at 4-5, but fires with a big performance. We'll wait until those prices go official. With that, we're getting set for the opener, race number 1 from Finger Lakes. So hopefully you're back to winner there at Delaware Park, and you can run it straight back in to the first here from Finger Lakes. As you can see, I've lent on the 6 here, MP, the outside runner. Bit of a price play. The 6 currently sitting at 6-1. So we're going against the bookended favourite there in the inside runner.
I like this. I mean, it's going to be a competitive race. You can tell by the odds. The short price favorite is at even money, but the 2's at 2-1. We've got a 5-2 in here. So if you find a horse that you like, that you think could kind of upset this favorite, then go with it. The 6 Sweet Sugar Baby did have a runner-up performance in the last out, has 2 wins in 28 lifetime starts. I'd say the best form we've seen from the 6 is this recent performance.
Absolutely, and I think the knock against Special Power the 1 is this is going to be another step up again here today. A lot of different directions to go. Best of luck if you're playing. It's Finger Lakes race number 1.
Bit of a slow start there for Georgie's Lady. She's at the back of the pack. On the outside, there goes Sweet Sugar Baby. Now at the rail, Special Pal. Special Pal grabs the lead from Sweet Sugar Baby, who battles back right away. A gap of 2.5 lengths early on here to Grand Lady Indy, overcoming that poor start. Georgie's Lady's in 4th. And at the back, it's the long shot Subtle Giant. 2 by 2. As they make their way on the far turn through an opening quarter quick, 22-2. Special Pal, the favorite, battling long shot Sweet Sugar Baby. These two joined by Grand Lady Indy, who switched to the 3-path. Riding the rails is Georgie's Ladies. The field making their way off the turn and into the stretch. Special Pal, Grand Lady Indy outside. Plenty of room at the inside for Georgie's Ladies, and she's trying to shoot on through. Special Pal, here's Grand Lady Indy. Grand Lady Indy, Special Pal past the 8th pole. Special Pal battles back at the rail. Grand Lady Indy, they're going at it. 16th pole. Special Pal, Grand Lady Indy, Special Pal, and Grand Lady Indy got her. Grand Lady Indy got her right on the money. Special Pal was valiant but vanquished today in 105-4.
2-1-3 in the opener from Finger Lakes. Grand Lady Indy is going to come out up on top here. This was a battle of the heavyweights, deep stretch. What a finish. This is what you want to see. Exhilarating, fast pace, and it's going to come down to the final bob. The momentum with the 2 up the center.
We'll wait till those prices go official from the opener out at Finger Lakes. Don't go anywhere, though. We've got a jam-packed hour with live racing all across the park. We've got Belterra Park Race 2 coming up. More action from Parks, more action from Thistle, Finger Lakes, Delaware Park. 10 live races in this hour alone. So a perfect time to jump in, play the ponies. We've got plenty of options over at the FanDuel Racing app. Plenty of ways to get involved. And for new customers, it's a great time to join.
Double-digit live wagering opportunities here on a Wednesday this hour alone. New customers, why not this afternoon? No sweat first bet up to $500 could be coming back in your direction. Just scan that QR code or head across to the FanDuel Racing app where you can play today. A lot of great wagering to be had. With that, we're getting back out to Parks ahead of race number 2. 2 minutes to post time, so we're going to have to act fast for this one. And yes, we are alive to the 2 here to get our Dubsy double, the daily double home. Obstinate, the 2 currently sitting at double digits at 10-1. So a bit of a long shot, but let's start with your favourite there, the 6, currently standing at even money. Magnificent Pearl. Recent form has been consistent without being fantastic, but we'll get a bit of class relief out there for the second at Parks. As you can see, we've got the split boxes. We're a little closer to the second from Belterra Park as they continue to move into line. The 1 and 6 both sitting at 8-5, and the 7 now sitting at 3-1. So a little closer. We'll stick with Parks. If you're playing along at Belterra Park, best of luck, but we will stick with Parks as they're just a minute out from post time. It remains the 6 at even money as the 1 to beat. In terms of the different directions to go, I'm big on the 2 here at a bit of a price. Obstinate has the figs to fall back on. Was a very impressive win back there on the 20th of May. And as expected, there was a bounce looming after that one. But getting back to the distance here today at this level could be sneaking as the price play for mine.
Looking at the favorite, the 6 sitting at -125 sportsbook odds, 4-5, Magnificent Pearl. What did you see in this horse that made you fade against? Has the 4 wins, 18 starts, runner-up, 2 back, hasn't gotten into the winner's circle since last year, back in 2023. Is that really the problem? Yeah, and it's been, early speed and fade. I don't think we get a good setup breaking from post position 6 here today, so still winless for the 2024 campaign. This will be a softer spot, so you can expect to see a bit of a step forward, but for me, I thought we'd go off at a pretty short price there. So at even money for the 6, certainly a big contender here for the 2nd, but in terms of chasing value, there's none behind even money. So happy to play against here with the 2, currently sitting at 10-1. Obstinate, the 1, expect to be ready. I like the setup here, having that early speed, but the question mark will be the stretch out in distance, and still trying to get things going here for the season. The outside run of the 7 at 4-1. That is Bunny Bonus. Adam Bowman gets the start here today, and we'll drop down significantly in class. So let's see if the 7 Bunny Bonus with a bit of relief, if it can take the forward step there. A couple of big prices. The 3 sitting there at 31-1. Eerie Impress, the 5-year-old mare, really hasn't shown a lot through the last couple of races. We'll look to 5 4th up here today with Dexter Haddock in for the ride. Just waiting on the outside runner to load into the gate. Bunny Bonus, the 7 horse, has 5 wins, 17 starts, gets the drop in class, a runner-up last out. We are all into the gate. We'll send it out on course. Jessica Paquette has the call for race number 2 at Parks.
And now they're all in. Off and racing, perfect start for this field of 7 on the inside. Expect to be ready, was ready for the break, and she goes right to the lead in between horses. Unadulterated, Magnificent Pearl, Bunny Bonus, Obstinate also forwardly placed, 5 across the track. It is a scramble for the lead as they make their way into the first turn. On the inside, Expect to be ready in the 3-path. Magnificent Pearl, she's settling into 2nd, followed by Obstinate now 3rd. Bunny Bonus 4th. Ivory Empress, the Chestnut, she's in 5th. Unadulterated back to 6th, and at the back, Caddy LaBelle, Expect to be ready, maintaining about a 1.5 advantage over Magnificent Pearl, who's now inching closer, now just half a length off of Expect to be ready. 23-3 for the opening quarter. Now they make their run down the backstretch and Expect to be ready. Magnificent Pearl tracks in 2nd. Obstinate inching up the rail. She's just a length off the leader. Then it's back to Bunny Bonus, followed by Ivory Empress on the outside. Unadulterated's beginning to improve her position, and Caddy LaBelle still at the back. Magnificent Pearl up to challenge. Expect to be ready. Those 2 noses apart. Less than a half mile left to travel. 48-2 for the half. Now they head towards the far turn, and Magnificent Pearl has her nose in front, but Expect to be ready. Counters, she sticks her nose back in front. They are exchanging blows on the front end. All the while, the gray, Unadulterated, she's up to 3rd. To the outside, Bunny Bonus. Caddy LaBelle, she's in 5th and beginning to gain. Obstinate, she's under a drive in 6th, and nothing yet from Ivory Empress at the back. They go around the far turn and Expect to be ready. Resilient on the lead. Magnificent Pearl can't quite get by her. Unadulterated swings wide for her bid at the top of the stretch. Expect to be ready has the lead. Unadulterated in between horses. Magnificent Pearl running on gamely down the center of the track. Bunny Bonus and Caddy LaBelle, but it's Unadulterated who's now up to confront Expect to be ready, and Unadulterated is kicking clear with the 16th left to go. Unadulterated, Caddy LaBelle making up some ground, but it is Unadulterated and Sylvester Gonzalez. They get the win. Caddy LaBelle 2nd, and a photo for 3rd between Magnificent Pearl and Expect to be ready.
Unadulterated, the 4 delivers in race number 2 from Parks. The 4 of the 5, and a close one there for the trifecta. We'll wait until those prices go official. We owe you one on slide tape delay. It's the 2nd from Belterra Park.
And they're off, a level beginning. First to show, that's My Angelica grabbing a lead. Now Believing takes over. Believing and Perry Utes is dueling it out with Whiskey Sis on the outside, and Whiskey Sis pokes ahead in front. Believing comfortably placed in second, about 4 lengths back. My Angelica in the green cap in third to the far outside. We're going to have now sneaking right up on the inside. That is Quiet Dawn along the rail. We have Caltha in the red cap, 2 lengths back to Market of Stocks, and a dozen back to Some Kind of Pretty. Opening quarter on the board of 22 and 3. With the lead, Believing and Perry Utes aboard the Speedy Daughter of Street Sense leads by a half a length. Whiskey Sis in the orange cap on the outside. Right behind runners tipping out for clear sailing is Quiet Dawn. From the back of the back, Caltha giving the cue, and Caltha circling runners one by one. Half on the board of 46 and 3 as they sit down for the stretch drive. There are 4 across the track. Believing along the inside. Whiskey Sis to the outside. Company's coming with Caltha. And Caltha, the daughter of Shackelford, goes to the left-handed stick. It's Caltha grabbing lead at even money and opens up by a length, make it 2. It's only how far from here. It is Caltha, and she's running up the score. Running second, Quiet Dawn. Running third, Whiskey Sis.
1-4-7 in the second from Belterra Park. Caltha, the 1, gets it done, $4.20 score. With that, we'll put a pause on the live racing. Time to talk a little football. Only 50 days away. Opening night for a new season in the NFL. It's a Wednesday, so time to talk a little win total, and we'll keep it with New York. The Giants set at 6.5 at the FanDuel Sportsbook. They went 6-11 last year. They've got 3 prime times coming up, including a trip to Germany as well. So what is the expectation for the Giants into a new season, MP?
Clearly, the sportsbooks say the expectation isn't very high for the Giants. I'm here to make a case not necessarily for the Giants to make it to the playoffs or go on some long run. I'm making a case for the Giants to be just a bit better than they were last season. Looking at what they've done in the offseason, well, they go and they get Malik Neighbors, who could be the second coming of OBJ. Last time they got an LSU receiver, it worked out really well. They go and get the offensive line re-up. The secondary is all new. We got Brian Birds added to the defense. Let's go through the schedule, though, to kind of see where the Giants' win and losses are going to come from. We start with this first portion, week 1 through 6. I think the Giants are going to get off to a hot start. They can go 2-0. In fact, they have to go 2-0 if they want to go over their win total. It gets tough after that. They got to go to Cleveland. Then it's a short week against the Cowboys Thursday night football. It's always hard to play in Seattle, followed up by a Sunday night football game against the Bengals. That's the first portion of the year. So I think the Giants are best if they're 2-4 heading into week 7.
Okay, so you're expecting Neighbors to have impact out of the gates there. A third of their win total through the first 3 weeks in the season. Let's move into the second third. Week 7, they've got the Eagles.
We look at week 7, Eagles, it's going to be tough, but we're going to have to see eventually an upset here if we're going to get over this mark for the Giants. Division games are tough. They did go 3-3 last year against their division. They also have to play the NFC South, the AFC North. A bit easy when you look at the rest of the league. At Steelers, that's actually not at Pittsburgh, or that'll be at Pittsburgh for Monday Night Football. Then we've got some division games. Note week 10, they're out in Germany for that one. Best case scenario, headed into the bye, I think we could be 4-6. Then that later portion of the year, that's where it's really going to matter if we want to get over this win total.
Okay, win totals at 6.5. Can they make a push, not towards the playoffs, but towards the overs? The final third of the season, they start in Dallas in week 13.
Here's what's going to happen. If we want to get to 7 wins for the Giants, we've got to beat some NFC South teams, which luckily can happen here. We've got the Saints, we've got the Falcons. I believe we can get 2 wins there, and then we're going to have to see an upset here. How about from the Colts? How about from the Eagles? They did beat the Eagles last year in the final week of the season. I believe if we can just get to that 1 extra win, we would make it to 7 wins. We wouldn't make the playoffs. We wouldn't be contenders for any sort of Super Bowl, but the Giants could definitely go above 6.5 wins.
Help us cash a couple of tickets. Win totals Wednesday. The New York Giants set at 6.5, and MP has looked at the schedule and gotten us to 7 wins. So let's play the overs there at the FanDuel Sportsbook. And it's not like they're going to go backwards. The only step they can take is forwards. They had 6 wins last year. And Danny Dimes, he's looked fantastic from what I've seen early, Mark.
He's going to be coming back from that ACL injury. Tyrod Taylor, Tommy DeVito, and Daniel Jones. Those were the 3 quarterbacks last season. Now that it's all Danny Dimes' team, I think that he could step up. It's going to be Daniel Jones' best season. You know who he's got in his corner? He's got the biggest Giants fan in the building, Allie McCann. Allie, we had to bring you in for this segment. I know that you're going to be hyping up the Giants just like I am. Who in particular has your eye for the season?
I like where your mind's at, but I am going with Devin Singletary, over 725.5 rushing yards. He's gone over this in 4 of the last 5 seasons while mostly splitting carries. Now, he is going to be Saquon's replacement, right? So this is totally his backfield, no threats to take over. And with as good of a back as he is and the volume that he gets, I think this line is a bit of a joke. Let's also not forget that Daniel Jones needs the run game, and they're going to do everything they can to make sure that he succeeds, and that includes leaning on Singletary.
Brian Dable, he's a really, really good head coach, and his job's somewhat on the line. I believe bringing in Devin Singletary is really going to help the run game. Saquon Barkley leaving, a big loss. Devin Singletary had a fantastic year in Houston last season. He now joins the Giants, and if you can respect the run game, you can get a passing game going. You can go with an offense and find some success, and you can go over 6.5 wins. That's what we're looking at for the New York Giants' upcoming schedule. Let us know if you're tailing or if you're fading. We're going to sneak in a quick commercial timeout. The NFL season, though, just 50 days away. I'm excited. You're excited. But you don't have to wait. We've got more live racing coming your way. Plenty of ways to bet in the meantime. So stay with us here on FanDuel TV, getting set for race number 2 at Thistledown.
Back into FanDuel TV, we are getting set for the second from Thistledown. 0 minutes to post time, and it's a very competitive field squaring off for this one. Going the distance of the 5.5 furlongs. Taking a look at the conditions here for the Statebreds for the 3-year-olds and up, which have not won 2 races since the 17th of July. So a bit of recency bias here is what we're looking for. The 2 sitting at 2-1, that is Chloe's Angel. The 8-year-old mare has the 8 wins and still trying to find that top gear again for the 2024 season. Really hasn't fared well getting back here to the sprint distance of 5.5 furlong, but second up this afternoon. So let's see if there's a bit more fitness in the tank today.
We're getting a good look at the longest price on the board, the 7 Couchy, sitting at 19-1. That's plus 1,900 sportsbook odds. It's at 19-1 for a reason. Has 6 wins, 36 career starts, has finished far back in the last few outs. The last win came back in February 27th, just has the 6 wins, though.
Yeah, tough to support there on the numbers, but a bit of movement in the market. Going the opposite direction. That's the great thing about parimutuel wagering. As one number shortens up, we're getting better prices elsewhere. As you can see down below, sportbook odds. So if you're thinking, well, the Midsummer Classic is now in the books. There's not a fantastic slate of other sports this afternoon. We've got plus money here in the sport of horse racing, and it's less than 2 minutes of action. We've got favourites sitting at plus 200, plus 300. So if you haven't jumped in, you can do so today from exactly where you're watching along via the FanDuel Racing app. But as we get set here for the second, the long shot from out wide, the 7. Tough to endorse there just based on what we have seen with the last couple of efforts. Fabulous Clown is the 6. Was 2-1 on the morning line, remains at that same price. Bit of a closing kick, but would have to have things go in favour. I think we'd have to see a bit of early speed from a couple other runners for them to take themselves out of this race and open things up late. So that's a tough run style to have at 5.5 furlongs. I think that would be the knock against the 6 in Fabulous Clown. Hitch City is the 4, currently sitting at 6-1. Does have that early speed and uncontested lead in the sport of horse racing can be a dangerous thing. So Hitch City, the 4, could be looming at a bit of a price there. Also gets a bit of class relief. So let's see with that step down in class if we can just take a further step forward and show a bit of improvement for Gary Johnson in the team. The 3 is Larsa, currently sitting at 5-2 on the board. So trending in the right direction, but returns after a lengthy spell. Has been on the sidelines for a good 10 months, and we really don't have a sample size from this barn on how they are bringing runners off the layoff there. So may need a start or two before we could really back the 3 with a bit of confidence. Chloe's Angel, the 2, now sitting at 5-2 on the inside runner. Checkout line, the 1, sits at 7-1. A really tough race on paper, trying to come up with the short price favourite there, the 6 at 2-1. I agree with the board here. I think all of these runners are absolutely live, and for the 7, would have to turn things around, but hey, every runner going into the gate for this one, Megan, I think has a shot at getting the score.
Might be a race where you throw in a couple selections in the multi-side of things, which, speaking of, you'll have to act quick. They're headed to the gate. We've got the $1 pick 3 kicking off here for races 2, 3, and 4, the $1 daily double. And if you want to bet on just this race alone, of course, you've got your win play show. You could build an exacta, but as you mentioned, this is a really competitive race for race 2 at Thistle. I
like the early speed. Hitch City, the 4, to set the tone in this one. Let's see if they can stick around and be a part of the conversation late at a price of 7-1. We just await the outside runners. That's the 6 going into line, followed by the 7 in Couchy, and we are set. Best of luck. If you're playing along, it's the 2nd from Thistledown.
Locked up. And they're off. Fabulous Clown with a good start on the outside. Larsa has speed today, and Hitch City wants to make a bid for the front. Chloe's Angel and Couchy are away well, and then it's Artie's Kryptonite in checkout line. 4.5 to go. Hitch City wanted the lead. Now she takes it. And Larsa tracks her from 2nd. That's Fabulous Clown racing in 3rd between rivals. Couchy's on her outside in 4th. And it's Chloe's Angel. The Gray is down along the inside in 5th, just in front of checkout line. And the trailer is Artie's Kryptonite, 8 lengths off. Around the far turn, racing to the 5/16, Hitch City with the lead. Larsa and Fabulous Clown are giving chase as they race to the quarter pole here. Hitch City with the lead. Couchy moving up on the outside. Larsa down along the inside. Fabulous Clown gaining ground. Chloe's Angel has run, but nowhere to go right now. Top of the stretch. Hitch City in front. Couchy between. Here comes Fabulous Clown on the outside. Also gaining ground is checkout line. She's splitting rivals. A wide open race with a 16th to go. Checkout line has momentum, and checkout line takes the lead. It's checkout line in front. Fabulous Clown into 2nd. Checkout line wins. Fabulous Clown was 2nd. Photo for 3rd between Larsa and Chloe's Angel.
It was the 1 over the 6 that got the win in race 2 at Thistledown. Checkout line makes that 11 wins and 72 starts for the 8-year-old mare. We'll wait till those prices go official. Sneaking in a commercial break. On the other side, NFL season just 50 days away. The drama continues in San Francisco. Brandon Ayuk once out. Stay with us for more to come on Brandon Ayuk.
Welcome back into FanDuel TV. Time for a little NFL news and notes. Star wide receiver for the 49ers, Brandon Ayuk, wants out. What are we hearing, Megan?
He's officially requested a trade. Brandon Ayuk no longer wanting to be a part of the Niners organization after they failed to get him that extension. It's a jam-packed roster the Niners are dealing with here. They cannot pay everyone. Brandon Ayuk believes he should be paid at a top dollar, as he should. He is one of the best wide receivers in the league. But let's talk about this for a sec. Just because Brandon Ayuk requested a trade doesn't mean that the Niners are just going to say, all right, there it is, let's get out of here. The Niners still have that choice to keep him. We've seen this before. We just saw this with T. Higgins, actually. He requested a trade, but guess what? It didn't work out for the Bengals and him. He's now playing on the franchise tag. Brandon Ayuk does have a lot of options as to where these landing spots could be if the Niners do let him walk. If he walks, well, he's going to be the top receiver pretty much no matter where he lands. If he goes to the Commanders, if he goes to the Steelers, he's going to come in as that top guy, and I'd be looking at all overs for Ayuk.
No rush for the 49ers here. The market is high, expected to warrant right around $28 to $30 million. Where to next for Brandon Ayuk? Well, more to come on that side of things. The 49ers as the shortest price to run it back and be the Super Bowl's leading contender. Opening night, the 5th of September, getting a little closer. Is that live racing action from Delaware Park? We are getting set for the 3rd. As you can see, they're starting to move into line. The 1 is a scratch. The inside runner will not go. The 2 currently sitting at 5 to 2 plus 250 sportbook odds. And taking a look at the recent form here for this runner has been pretty strong. So let's see if we can keep it going for this afternoon. On the chill, bit of an early speed type. Let's see if we can hold on with that early speed to be a factor late. We just await the 8 to go into position. And with that, let's send it out on course. It's race number 3 from Delaware Park.
Set to jump. Away and running. Slow to go is Golden Owl. Good speed today from On the Chill, who breaks right on cue. Golden Owl races up to the inside, and many Spitesters in that front division too. Deep on the track is Painted Thunder, and Who Knew Gervin is in between rivals under the 7 furlong pole they pass. Alabama Shake stays to the rail, and Gold Dilemma is last of all, but it's a compact field of 7 that gets ready to lead the first turn behind. And On the Chill's the leader today and shows the way by 1 measured length. Many Spitesters on hold in that second place position, and Painted Thunder's deep for the backstretch run. Golden Owl broke worst of the 7 and is right there in that 4th place position. And Who Knew Gervin, the long shot, is asked for a bit more in 5th. Gold Dilemma's in 6th, and Alabama Shake, one of the longest shots on the board, is last of all. Halfway home, and On the Chill controls the clock today at 9 to 2 and shows the way by 2. Many Spitesters going to take a crack at this leader now in 2nd, and Painted Thunder is not responding under the jockey's hands. Golden Owl botched it at the break. Alabama Shake takes the inside trail in front of Who Knew Gervin and Gold Dilemma. Here's the quarter pole, and On the Chill is gliding away as smooth as silk and leads by 4 authoritative lengths. Many Spitesters in that 2nd place position. Golden Owl's going to try to get on track inside the final 3/16 of a mile and is making inroads now. On the Chill still leads. That lead is about 3. Golden Owl trying to bridge that divide ever so slowly. 100 yards to go. On the Chill is almost home. Golden Owl chasing in vain. On the Chill has won it over Golden Owl, Mini Spitester, and Alabama Shake was a 25 to 1 fourth.
3, 2, 5, the 3. On the Chill gets the win, breaks the maiden in the 11th career start.
Well done. If you had the 3 up on top in the 3rd from Delaware Park, we'll wait until those prices go official. With that, we're getting back out for a live post parade from Belterra Park, race number 3. Taking a look at the conditions for this one. They will be going the distance of 6 furlongs. Starter allowance event for the runners who are yet to win 3 races. The 1 and 2 going past. Here's the 3, Mind Stress, currently sitting at 1 to 2, your short price favourite.
Next up is the 4, Lipstick and Lashes. Has a bit of early speed, 2 wins in 6 career starts, a winner 2-back, a back-to-back winner 2-back.
Whacker's Girl, the 5, sits at 12 to 1, just 2 wins from 31 lifetime. A little stuck at the level, gets to fire 3rd up here this afternoon, so has a bit of fitness coming back in for this one. That's your field for the third from Belterra Park. 2 minutes to post time. If you're looking to jump in, you can play at the FanDuel Racing app. With that, let's get back out to Finger Lakes ahead of race number 2 for the afternoon. Getting a good look here at the favourite. That is the 5, currently sitting at 3-4. Just to rehash the conditions of this one, mile 70 is the distance, claiming event for the 3-year-olds and up, which have not won a race since the 17th of July. So you can have a bit of form for the year, but not too much of recent times, MP.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this short price favorite, it's now at -125. So very short here for the 5. Joe's had enough, but it does make sense. Granted, only has the 3 wins in 20 starts, but at the softer spot today should help the 5 a lot here. I mean, has finished in the money a decent amount back in 2023. It's just about the recent form in 2024.
Yeah, it gets a softer spot on return here today. The morning works from what we did see earlier this year were pretty impressive. That tells us there's a lot of early speed coming from this 5 runner at 4-5. So certainly going to set the table. Do they have the stamina? Will it have the conditioning to be a factor late? The last couple of starts, I think, are a little concerning. I like the 5 there. Joe's had enough, but at 4-5, I wouldn't take any less than even money. Other choices to be had here. The 1, the inside runner, currently sits at 2-1. Jacoba, 6-year-old gelding, who has shown a bit of form earlier in the year, has tapered off and tired in the last couple. Joel Cruz takes the mount here for the 1. Jacoba just has the 3 wins for 38 lifetimes. So a common theme amongst this field, a lot of these runners are trying to change things up here this afternoon or returning after lengthy spells. But in terms of recent form and what stands out through the past performances, there's not a lot.
Yeah, exactly. You can see right now we are double boxed with Parks race number 3, 1 minute to post time. And that one where the favorite is sitting at 9-5. That is the 3 horse. But getting a bit closer is Finger Lakes race 2 as they are loading to the gate here. I know we've got some top endorsements for race number 3 at Parks, but we'll hold that for a bit because we've got the 2nd from Finger Lakes.
Even money, the 5 here as the 1 to beat. They'll start to move into line. A couple of great ways to jump in and play the multis there. The pick 3 and the daily double with the 2nd at Finger Lakes. But I believe we'll stick with Parks just a minute out from post time. The 2 currently sitting at 6-5. So let's get back out to Parks here. Taking a look at the top chance of the field. It will be the 2. The 2 currently sitting here at even money. That is Keep It Sexy. Should be coming from off the pace and gets Ruben Silvera in the irons. This was the top choice for me. Has been stuck at the level, but good to see that they've been getting very close with the fitness and just making the surface switch, getting back off the turf and a little cutback in distance. A lot of changes, but a lot to like here with the 2. Keep It Sexy. The 1 on the inside sitting at 9-2. That is Fast Girl. Really hasn't shown a lot of early speed there for Scott Lakes. A Fast Gal, the 1. Does get Paco Lopez, the difference maker in the irons. Paco's already had a win on the card here this afternoon. If you ever jump in to play Parks, Paco Lopez should warrant a lot of attention before you place those wagers at the FanDuel Racing app. Paco's on the 1. We like the 2 at even money, and the 3 will be the 3rd choice. Fast Motion at 5-2.
Do note the 5 is a scratch, so we're just waiting on the outside runner, the 6, to load into the gate. With that, we'll send it out to Jessica Paquette, who's got the call for race number 3 from Parks.
Off and racing, a sharp start on the outside. Equistar hustles right out of the gate and goes right to the lead. Fast Motion in the red blinkers. She's in 2nd. Keep It Sexy hustling up and in on the rail. Fast Gal, Namora the Gray going to be the early trailer, and they're all trying to catch Equistar early, who has about 1.5 lengths over 3 horses chasing on the inside. Fast Gal in between horses. Keep It Sexy. Fast Motion in the red blinkers in the 3 path. She's now up to 2nd. Then back to Namora, still 5th and last, and Equistar continues to lead the way as they make the run towards the far turn. 23 flat for the opening quarter. Equistar has the lead. Now a clear 2nd. Fast Motion. Fast Gal's back to 3rd, losing some ground. Keep It Sexy and Namora still at the back. Fast Motion now up to confront Equistar as they make their way around the far turn. On the outside, Fast Motion sticks her nose in front. Equistar trying to counter. Those 2 in tandem as they go around the far turn. Namora is making her ascent up the rail. She's in 3rd, 46-4 for the half. At the top of the stretch, Fast Motion. She has put away Equistar, who is all out go. Chasing in second. Fast Motion. Equistar trying to come back at her, but Fast Motion keeping her at bay down the center of the track. It is Fast Motion and Luis Rivera with 16th left to go. Opening up comfortably now. Fast Motion, and Fast Motion's going to get the win. Equistar, Namora, then back to Fast Gal in fourth. Final time.
3-6 for the 3. Fast Motion gets the win, makes that 2 wins and 11 career starts. We'll wait till those prices go official. Let's get out to Finger Lakes. Just a slight tape delay for the second.
They're in the gate. And they're off. On the far outside, along came the Prince for the lead. Stephen Frett trying to cross and clear from the outside draw. Rushing up to his outside is Follow the Signs. And on the far outside, about 5 wide into that first turn, as Joe's had enough. Jacoba saves all the ground in fourth, followed by Ringgood. And at the back, It's Okay. Game On. He's 7 lengths from the lead. 3 of them battling now. Joe's Had Enough is going to clear from that 3-wide journey on the first turn through an opening quarter in an easy 25-3. Joe's Had Enough of being in that duel and has a 1.5 length lead. Seconds Follow the Signs. From the outside draw, along came the Prince, now rides the rails in third. Fourth is Ringgood. Gap of 2 lengths back to Jacoba, and the trailer still Okay. Game On, half 50-2. So they picked it up just a touch there as they race towards the far turn here at Finger Lakes with Joe's Had Enough in front. Along the insides, along came the Prince. Follow the Signs, battles on between horses with Ringgood, spun 3 wide into the far turn. Jacoba's trying to pick it up with Jackie Davis. And Okay. Game On, not today for him. He's well at the back. The field's midway on the turn, and Joe's Had Enough is running up the score already. Joe's Had Enough takes him off the turn and into the stretch through 3/4 in 1:15, and he has a 6-length lead. It's all Joe's Had Enough. Ringgood trying to make up ground late, as is Jacoba down the center. They pass the 8th pole. Joe's Had Enough. Jacoba's trying to make it closer, but Joe's Had Enough's lead is insurmountable. It's all Joe's Had Enough. He's 40 yards from the line, and he's 4 in front. Joe's Had Enough by 3.5 on the line. Jacoba, then Ringgood. Follow the Signs rounds out the super in 1:47-2.
5-1-2 in race number 2 from Finger Lakes. Joe's Had Enough, and he had plenty out there this afternoon. So well done. $3.60 winner. And with that, we owe you one. We're getting back out to Belterra Park on slight tape delay. Here's race number 3. Good luck.
And they're off. A level beginning for the lead along the inside. Chicachula comes out well on the outside. Mind Stress now presses a pace, 1.5 lengths back. Computer Whiz perfectly spotted in the 3rd spot, skimming the rail. That is Lipstick and Lashes in the orange jacket. Another 3/4 of a length back to Whackers Girls. They make the way down the backstretch. And on the lead, that is Mind Stress, doing it very easily. He owns it by 3/4 of a length, opening quarter 23-3. On the inside, Chicachula, now on the outside, Lipstick and Lashes, daughter of River Run Deep, now gives the cue and takes over the 2nd spot from the back of the pack. That is Computer Whiz starting to warm up to the task as they round the far turn. With the lead, Mind Stress and Lagunas at 1-9, leads by 1.5 lengths. Lipstick and Lashes lays in second, swinging out 3 wide. Computer Whiz as they turn for home. It's Mind Stress with the lead. Lagunas given a vigorous hand ride, owns it now by 2 lengths. Mind Stress, Lagunas, he's the target. He's the one to catch, still on top by 2, goes the left-handed stick. And Mind Stress kicks clear. The daughter of Mine Shaft is doing it very easily today. That's 2 on the car for Gabriel Lagunas. Running second, Lipstick and Lashes. Running third, Chicachula.
3-4-1 in the 3rd from Belterra Park. Mind Stress delivers. $2.20 winner up there on top. So well done. If you had it, we're going to sneak in a quick commercial timeout on the other side. We're getting stuck into a little NBA news and notes. The Summer League is heating up. A bing bong in the city of New York. So what does it mean for Jalen Brunson and co? Stick with us. You're watching FanDuel TV. Welcome back into FanDuel TV. Happy Wednesday. Time for a little NBA news and notes. And if you're New York Knicks fans, you've got to be happy with the recent news. Jalen Brunson delivers, locks up the bag, 4 years contract extension.
$156 million. He locks up the bag, but this is a very team-friendly deal. Jalen Brunson could have gotten a ton of more money, but at the end of the day, you want a championship, you want to do more with your roster, you take a $113 million pay cut, and you build at the statute. Jalen Brunson, one of the best players we're seeing in the NBA right now. He's so shifty, he's efficient, he's consistent, he can score everywhere. Absolutely good by the Knicks for getting him locked up. And I like the Knicks this season. I mean, you got to get the Julius Randle thing under control. We've got to keep him in play. I like the addition of Mikal Bridges coming over, traded from the Nets. He's going to be a good third option for this Knicks team, who's a really good three-point shooter. Brunson is the heart of the Knicks team, and I like the outlook for New York.
I'm sorry, he just got paid $156 million for 4 years, and he left $111 million on the table.
Yes.
I said he got the bag. That's just ruined my Wednesday. So how do we play the Knicks given this recent news? We know Brunson is going to be locked up. They're in chase of their second back-to-back 50-win season. They're well-versed in going against Embiid and the 76ers, and they're now very strong out there on the wings to match up against the Celtics in the East.
Am I crazy for saying I like a little sprinkle on the Knicks to win the Eastern Conference at plus 450? The Knicks dealt with so much injury last year, so if they come back healthy, they've locked up Jalen Brunson. I believe they'll lock up Julius Randle, and the addition now of Mikal Bridges, they've got 3 really reliable scorers in their depth chart. It is a little bit of a long shot, so maybe just eye the win total over, but I'm buying in on the Knicks so far.
I like Jalen Brunson. I like the way that he gets it done. He plays with that dog, with that quiet dog mentality. He was fourth with the highest average points per game there in the regular season. So give me Jalen Brunson as the clutch player of the year. You can get this number right around plus 1,200 at the FanDuel Sportsbook. This is telling us that Jalen Brunson will be that guy for the Knicks. Whether you need him to be facilitator or scorer, he will be dishing that rock late. And I think the Knicks have a very good season coming up here, and Jalen Brunson is going to be at the centerpiece of that. Clutch player of the year to stand up in the big moments, Jalen Brunson.
Speaking of clutch player of the year, how about the runner-up clutch player of the year last season, DeMar DeRozan? He's leaving the Bulls. He's headed to the Sacramento Kings. The 6-time All-Star averaged 24 points last season. It was a 3-team sign-and-trade deal. The Kings are winners here for sure, boosting the offense, which is already elite with Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox. I love everything about this trade. Look at what DeMar DeRozan does. First of all, he's durable. He can boost this offense significantly. He played the most minutes in the season last year. I'm really liking what we're seeing out of Sacramento as well. DeMar DeRozan, a great addition to this Kings team.
Durable, consistent scorer, not great from out wide. So the Kings still have that hesitation. They were 20th in points per game coming in for this season. I like their win total. They had 46 wins last season. I think we see a bit of a forward step in that side. And look towards the Pacific Division. I think they're absolutely live there at plus 300. De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, and now DeMar DeRozan, who also plays with a lot of swag, and he can do it both ways.
You mentioned the win total. I love the win total for the Kings. 46.5. Are you kidding me? The Kings had 46 wins last year. That was with no DeMar DeRozan. This offense is going to be better. The defense still has a bit of question. That's why it's at 46. I'm taking the over all day for Sacramento.
I like it. Very bullish there on the Kings, and we like what we see over there in New York with the Knicks. A lot of different ways to already play with the new season fast approaching in the NBA. Head across to the FanDuel Sportsbook to get those early futures tickets in. Speaking of early, we are right on time. The live racing continues on a loaded Wednesday afternoon. We're getting set for Thistledown, their third of the card. 2 minutes to post time here. It'll be a maiden special weight. So all of these horses still in search of that very first lifetime win. Maiden special weight for the fillies and mares, the 3-year-olds and up. A minute to post time. And favoritism now pointed towards the 6 at 5-2. Plus 250 here coming up for the third from Thistle.
Looking at the conditions for this one, they are going the route of ground of a mile. On the wagering side, a lot of ways to jump in. You've got the daily double, the $1 pick 3. This is going to be for the 3-year-olds and up, the fillies and mares. I mean, they're all looking for their first win. So there's a lot to endorse about all these horses.
Nancy from the block, the 6, currently sitting there as the shortest price. But that's the great thing about jumping in to play the horses. The shortest price for race number 3 here is at +200 at 2-1. Favoritism now shifts across from the 6, Nancy from the Block. I wasn't big on the chances here. I know we've been close, but just struggling to take that forward step and getting back to this level here today. I don't know if that's going to be enough to help the chances. The 9, 30-something, the 3-year-old filly, has been very consistent, but never raced at the distance that we get to today. So at the mile, that would be the question mark for your current favourite, 30-something, the 9. Steps it up from the 5.5 furlongs where we have been consistent. So the unknown presents a little bit of value. You can see favouritism on this board shifting between the 6 and the 9, both sitting at 2-1. Sportbook equivalent there at +200. Same numbers you see in top left to bottom of your screen, just a different way of reading it to jump in and play at the FanDuel Racing app. If we're looking for a couple of prices, the 2 at 6-1, that is AP's Runaway Diva. Should be coming from off the pace, this 4-year-old filly. Well suited to the distance, has the conditioning, but really hasn't been close in the last couple of starts. Was bested by 30-something in that last finish. So do factor that in for your handicapping. Something Lucky, the one on the inside, early speed type, but looms at a monster price. Just been going in the wrong direction. 8 starts, yet to finish in the money.
How about the 3, Thelma Lucille? Has only raced 1 time in 2024. Prior to that, in 2023, we had some consistency, finishing as a runner-up 3 times in a row. Then we finished 4th out, took that big layoff, now back racing in July, finished 4th in that one. Could we see progression from this 3 who will get the Lasix added today?
Yeah, I think with the Lasix added, you can expect to see a bit of a forward step from Thelma Lucille, the 3. But it's a common theme amongst all of these runners. They just don't have the experience at the route of ground, not good experience anyway. So for me, I'm looking towards fitness in the campaign amidst the form cycle. Who matches the billing? The 4, Victoria Command, bit of an early speed type, but again, at the distance, really hasn't shown a bunch. Was way out of it back there on the 12th of June. It sits as one of the bigger prices at 17-1. The 6 remains the 1 to beat, Nancy from the Block. Got up to the mile last out, was just bested. So a runner-up finish and getting back to the same level of competition. No surprises here that the 6 should be the 1 to beat. The 7 at 11-1, Debbie's Dream, just has the 2 starts prior. Really hasn't shown us a bunch of ability going through those 2 connections. See fit to step it up in distance. Comes in for Jeffrey Radisovich. Always going to put a bit of respect on the Radisovich team when playing Thistledown. So Debbie's Dream, the 7, looking to take a bit of improvement in the 8 at 18-1. Ralph's Lil Vicky, bit of early speed on debut back there on the 1st of July, but tired late in that one. Steps it up in distance here today for the 2nd career start. I probably want to see another race or 2 under the belt before I could entertain.
A lot of different ways to play Thistledown Race 3, a lot of different options here. We've got a couple big prices on the board and then a couple that really could be competitive. We've talked a little bit about the outside runner, the 9 sitting at 3-1. The 10 is a scratch. The 930-something comes in with pretty good recent form. Has yet to get the win, but has finished in the money the last 3 starts. I do worry a little bit about the regression we saw from the last out. The speed figures weren't as good, and they did finish 3rd instead of the runner-up performance.
Yeah, it took a backward step and takes a big stretch out in distance here today to the route of ground. A tough race in trying to find who's going to finish up on top with a couple of different directions to go. I say best of luck. We'll send it out on course. It's race number 3 from Thistledown.
That's a good start now for Thelma Lucille. 30-something from the outside, has some early speed. Debbie's Dream is out well, and so is Victoria Command with AP's Runaway Diva and Something Lucky. And Something Has to Give as 6 or 7 go for the front. And it looks like Thelma Lucille took the worst of it. Something Lucky moves up on the rail to challenge Victoria Command. Debbie's Dream is right there in 3rd. On her outside is 30-something 4th. Thelma Lucille now races in 5th, and she's outside of AP's Runaway Diva. And we come back a little bit here. Ralph's Little Vicky. And towards the back of the pack, Nancy from the Block. They continue down the back stretch, 4.5 furlongs to go. And now we have 3 up front as 30-something tries to join Something Lucky and Victoria Command. AP's Runaway Diva behind the leading trio is 4th. And now Nancy from the Block has moved up into 5th. She's inside of Thelma Lucille. And then we have Debbie's Dream. And at the back is Ralph's Little Vicky. 3 furlongs to go, and Victoria Command has taken the lead away. Victoria Command in front, but there goes Thelma Lucille. She's coming with a big run now. Nancy from the block is trying to gain ground as she's with 30-something, racing to the quarter pole. Thelma Lucille now challenging Victoria Command. Nancy from the block moving up 3 wide. AP's Runaway Diva has 4 rivals and 5 lengths to overcome. Top of the stretch, 3 across the track, but Victoria Command gives way. Nancy from the block takes the lead. Thelma Lucille goes with. Into the final furlong, it's Nancy from the block with the lead. Thelma Lucille trying to cling to her, and these two are well clear of AP's Runaway Diva, who's into third. And Nancy from the block has now put away Thelma Lucille. It's Nancy from the block. Thelma Lucille was second best today. AP's Runaway Diva finished third. Victoria Command.
6-3-2 in the third from Thistledown. The 6 going off at 2-1. Nancy from the block. Well done. If you had it, time for a little last call. Best call for the Wednesday afternoon, Megan.
We're going with the WNBA. Here's a score update, though. There's 2 games on the slate. One is underway. Dream Lynx were at halftime. The Dream is up 35-33. I'm looking at the game ahead. We're talking about the Indiana Fever. We are taking the Fever not only to win, but to cover today. They have been absolutely crushing it. We have found them getting their offense in place, averaging over 80 points per game. Caitlin Clark has found her rhythm, so give me the Fever to cover tonight. Where are you looking, Allie?
Look, I am staying with Caitlin Clark. She had a bit of a down game over the weekend, but she is bouncing back tonight, showing that Olympic team what they are missing out on, with the best playmaker in the W going over 9.5 assists for her. She was averaging almost 12 in the previous 7 games. I think she's getting back to that. Dubs, take us to the pitch.
Did you say Caitlin Clark is getting ready to bounce? We're getting set to kick off here. FC Dallas going against Austin FC. This is a rivalry spot for your MLS Wednesday afternoon. I think Austin alive at plus 260, and I love the total to have more than 2.5 goals. The last 3 between these sides has gone north of that mark. They're 1 apiece through the regular season. Over 2.5 goals at minus 128. Let's see if we can bring one home and find the back of the net. That's going to do it for us here in the clubhouse. Ali McCann, Meghan Payton, been dishing dimes all afternoon. Another day of midweek MLS coming up tonight. You know what else is coming up tonight? The Open Championship. Woo! Out on the leagues. Ali McCann, you're the guest. Give us a hot take for your hump day.
Oh, I'll give you a hot take. Tiger Woods to finish top 20.
Top 20? No way. In what? In the Open Championship?
Yeah, we know his history with links golf, and if he can manage that pain, it's game over.
13-1. Are you kidding me? We got fantastic live racing coming up this hour. My race of the day coming up this hour. Stick with us on FanDuel TV.